maybe tell me just quickly, briefly about yourself and who you are in like a couple of sentences.
Oh, so I'm Charles. I live in London. I have two kids, a wife, and yes, I'm working as a designer mostly, but also an engineer. And I've been fortunate to work in my own studio, but with lots of different startups and yes.
Oh, awesome. And so what was your life like before you started working with me?
When we met for the first time was a period where I was not really happy, like working in a job where I know it was a great job for me and it was working with great people, but not necessarily internally happy. And I couldn't really figure out how to put words on what I was feeling and like how to actually express what I was thinking, and this what had an effect, with the people I was working with, and like at home with my kids and my wife. So yes, it was definitely a time for change. So this is when I decided to reach out.
Makes sense. And so what do you think was the biggest challenge that you were facing at the time?
I was a bit feeling that, I was not in my place, and didn't know how to, be happy with what I have, even though I was doing a great job and I was, this is what I like to do, but I was not fulfilled, I would say. And this had an effect on my relations with others, like the way I was leading other people, and a bit on micromanaging, and yes, generally like my relation with others. So yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And so when did you realize that something had to change?
Well, this is I think the biggest point was like, okay, I'm doing something I love, but I'm not happy. I'm working with people that are amazing, incredibly talented, that only wants for me is to succeed. But then I find a way to conflict with them. I find a way um, uh, to not make the best of each situation and be afraid of the position I was in. And this was not great. And this led me in the past to go from jobs to jobs. And, I really wanted to make this change and stick to something and be more conscious of the decision I take. So, yeah.
Yeah, I get that. And so what was maybe one of your biggest fears or biggest reservations about, or maybe just before you made the decision to invest in working with me, like what were some of the fears, reservations you maybe had before that?
Hmm. That's a good question. I think I was a little bit skeptical that not necessarily you, but like a coach in general could actually fix like my journey. As I started as an entrepreneur, I started my own business, and then I went into the role. So I kind of did the reverse of a lot of people, and kind of sticked with me for a long time. And I was a little bit skeptical that anybody could actually put me back in the right path. But also I was a bit afraid that as at the end of this, like I was not happy with what I was at the points, and at the end of those sessions that I will not actually find what I wanted to do, and just to lead to a dead end, which ended up not being the case. So that's great.
That's awesome. But I get that it must have been scary. And so how different is your life now? How has your life changed?
There's this couple aspects on it, and it comes to it's not like a big shabam, but more like lots of little things that help me day to day to appreciate who I am, appreciate who I work with and the position I'm in today, and try to understand more clearly where I can go. So it's all about being less emotional, be more conscious of when I get emotional and where I should actually just breathe and relax and step back and bring a better answer to what I do. And ultimately it brings to better relationship with the people I work with. So
yeah, I love that. And so is there maybe like one, or what would you say is the one biggest, most exciting result or transformation that you've experienced over the last 4 months that we've been working together?
There's one thing is like I still don't know exactly what I want to do, but I know I'm not frustrated anymore by not knowing. I think there's a lot about like the process that we've done was trying to understand my past, try to digest some key moments in my journey, and give me the key to understand why things happened and how I can make it better for the future. So it feels like today I'm way more relaxed about my life in the future, and that's the big benefit. I still don't know what tomorrow will be, what my career path will turn out, but that's great because I'm just way more happier the way I am today, and yes, that's a big win.
Nice. Yeah, so what I'm hearing is just a lot more trust in yourself, and trust that whatever happens, you'll figure it out.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
And so finally, like what would you tell someone who's maybe hesitant about investing in working with me?
Well, it feels like this was my first time working with a coach. So it's like the first time working with personal trainer, or like working with a psychologist. You never know until you try, but the benefits could be absolutely amazing. So I would recommend working with a coach and working with you to anyone, as much as doing sports or take care of your mental health and something like this. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks. And I just want to again appreciate you for being like willing to invest in yourself, and for trusting me in this process. And like I told you before, it's been a real pleasure working with you, and I'm excited for all this to come for you.
You're welcome, man. Thank you very much.
No worries. All right, take care.